Hello, everybody! And then we're going to get right into it. So tonight's topic is going to be goal setting. So what goals to set, and then how to crush them, okay? That's what we're going over. If you're in the inner circle, we talked about this a little bit on Friday as well, so it's just going to be a continuation of that discussion. You may hear some of the same stuff. That's because it's pertinent and it matters, and it's how we do this. So we are talking about goal setting today. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way. All right, so we are talking about goal setting. The important thing, especially whether you have a business or don't, it doesn't really make a difference. Goals are goals are goals, right? So it makes no difference whether you have a business, if you've had one for years, if you're just starting a business, if you don't have one, but you just have a busy honkin' life, then goals still matter, right? So that's what we're going to talk about right now. And I'm going to be utilizing the tactic of SMART goals. A lot of you have you're probably way familiar with them, especially if you're in any sort of corporate atmosphere at all. SMART goals are all the rage. So a SMART goal, hey, Rookie. Aw, I haven't seen you for so long. Popping in to say hi, she says. SMART goals are goals that are specific, goals that are measurable, goals that are, Rookie, thank you for being so amazing. Well, stop it. Thank you. Goals that are measurable, goals that are attainable, goals that are realistic, and goals that are time bound or time related or timely is the word that they use, but it's easier to explain if it's, time bound is how I like to say it. So that being said, what do we do to determine what goals we're going to be working on, okay? Because whenever you have these huge stretch goals, right? Like the this is where I want to be in a year, or this is where I want to be in 3 years, or this is where I want to be in 5 years, right? Those are like the aspirations, the dreams, the vision, that's where we want to be. So what we have to do is we have to break that into steps, right? So we can actually get there. So when we break that into steps, what you're going to do at this point, and let me know if you have any questions or anything. Rookie, it's difficult to catch live while in office. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. We always have these in here. So whenever you are breaking those goals down into smaller goals that you can meet, and then meet, and then meet, and then meet, and all the while that you're hitting these goals, what you're doing mentally is you're gaining momentum, right? So you have started meeting goals, and then whenever you hit that one, then you work on your next one, and you work on your next one, and you work on your next one, all the while picking up steam, gaining momentum, gaining authority, really great, gaining some gravity to yourself, gravity to your brand. It's almost like a little swagger, right? you gain so much as you just keep hitting these goals, okay? So my suggestion is this. Take one of your, I need to be specific here because I don't want to say, well, just think of this thing. I'm going to be specific. Take your year stretch goal. So where do you want to be in a year? Okay. And make it a stretch goal. And a stretch goal is like a little bit more than you even think you can do. Like that dream goal. Okay. Now I'm not saying a little bit more than you think you can do. Like I want to be a billionaire next year. Cause that is, it's a stretch goal, of course. And it's not outside of, the realm of reality at all. But it's, let's rope it in a little bit, right? So what is the 1 year stretch goal, either for you, for your business, for your life, for, where you're living or what your lifestyle is going to be like or whatever that is to you? What is your 1 year stretch goal? Okay. And then now let's break down into one or two smaller goals that are going to be steps to get you there, okay? Because we look at the stretch goal, and then what we need now is a goal for the next 30 days. 1 or 2 goals for the next 30 days. What do you think? And we're talking about pushing the needle on that stretch goal for the year. What do you think that you can do in the next 30 days that's realistic that will get you to that stretch goal? Okay, so if the stretch goal is income related, which a lot of times it is, right? In one way or another, a lot of times it is. If it's income related, okay, so what are the things that would need to happen in order to get to that income, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to reverse engineer that goal into a 30-day step, right? So 1 or 2 steps that would get you there. So let's go ahead and think of what those 1 or 2 steps in the next 30 days is going to be. So for somebody that maybe has an income goal, let's do an easy one. So like $100,000. Say you want your business to be making $100,000 by next year. Okay. I mean, that's a very attainable goal, right? So let's talk first. The very first 30 days of what that looks like is infrastructure, right? So you would see, where is your business? What does the infrastructure look like? What does the base? What is the cornerstone of everything? What does that look like for your business, right? So what you would do first is you would start framing things out like you're building a house. So you would get the foundation, and then you would start framing it out. Okay, that's a house, by the way. So you would work on the foundation. So the foundation for the $100,000 year for your business, a lot of it's going to rely on education, right? So there's going to be education of products that you sell. There's going to be education of marketing. There's going to be education of maybe finances. There's going to be an education of how to work with social media, and I understand that works into marketing, but there's also something very organic about it that isn't necessarily marketing, that is really just how you show up in social media, that does play into marketing, but it's more personal than that. So that's all education pieces that you're going to need. You're also going to need that and what we talked about last week, which is the ecosystem of services that you're going to be able to offer your clients, okay? So if your goal is $100,000 next year, like if you want to have made $100,000 year by next year, then the very first things, and this is actually going to catapult you way past 100,000, I'm sure, but getting that ecosystem of services down, right? And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, please watch the video from last week. They're also up on YouTube. But you can watch those, and I don't want to go through it all again, and I want you to really get it and absorb it. So make sure that you watch that. But so you would have the ecosystem of services, and then you would also have that education piece, okay? So for the next 30 days, what I would do if I were that person, and please ask questions if you have them, like personally in your own business, in your own life, if you have questions about goals, please put them into the chat here so I can answer them, because I kind of quickly go through things, and then I would like to just address you personally if you have some questions, okay? So that being said, for the next 30 days, my goals, if I were that person, my goals would be to make sure that by the end of that 30 days that I have my ecosystem of services down, at least for now, and understand that that will be a constantly evolving thing for you. Don't feel like a horse with blinders on, like you're just going to set it and forget it on your services. I see a lot of people do that, and then they get really frustrated whenever they change their services, or whenever they edit it, or whenever they are evolving, right? Either as a person or as a business. They feel really bad, and they go through this whole mourning period of this thing that they thought was going to be. But that's okay, right? Our businesses are constantly evolving because we are our businesses and we are constantly evolving, and we can't like put a straitjacket on ourselves and just not be able to grow, because that doesn't do us any service, and it definitely doesn't do anybody that we are here to serve any service either, right? So make sure that you just become okay with being fluid in your growth, and that's ebbing and flowing and all of the things. So what I suggest is getting that ecosystem of services down, at least what it is right now. Okay. And when I say what it is right now, that's the service that you offer right now, but then also add in the other hubs of service where people can come into you from different avenues or from different directions. So you don't just have the one thing. Even if maybe you do nails for a living or something, right? So to you, you're like, well, I do this one thing, but there are so many ways that you can market that one thing. And there are so many different types of things that you can do with it. Please watch the video if you haven't already. So there is that. The suite of services is one thing I would definitely do. And then the next SMART goal that I would do for the 30 days would be the education piece. So what I personally do every day of the week, Monday through Friday, every day of the week, I take a course. I take somebody else's course. I take online courses 5 times a week. I take them in the morning. So my morning routine is drinking coffee until I'm coherent. and then I go to the gym with my husband, and we go to a spinning class. And then I come home, I grab another coffee, and then I come home and I put in my earbuds, and I am dead to the world for about an hour and a half while I'm taking a course. I make sure that I do that early in the day, so it cannot be skipped over. It cannot be just something that, gets put on tomorrow's to-do list and the next day and the next day. The reason why is because I'm responsible for folks in my inner circle. I'm responsible for their education, right? I need to know everything about everything, okay? And I cannot just learn it all, which, I've learned a lot, right, until this point. But if I were to just stop and say, well, I'm good, I would not be doing anybody any service, right? I wouldn't be helping anybody. I wouldn't be continuing to grow, right? Things change, and they change so fast, right? So it's my responsibility to make sure that the people in there have what they need. And then I also have my own agency, right? So I need to make sure that I'm doing what my clients need. So it works all the way around, but I take courses every single day. So what I would suggest is to set aside time on a regular repeating pattern. I'm not saying go to town like I do, because I do it, obviously it's my living to do that. But if this is what you're doing for the next 30 days, and you're just doing it for 30 days in order to get that education down, then make sure that you're setting aside time and that you're getting your learning in, so you do know what you're doing, so you can build out a plan for yourself, right? Vicky, question, study for pre-license test? Question, study for pre-lick test. And I feel like that's pre-license test. And then write my ebook. So for your 30-day goals, are those your 30-day goals? And Jenny, never stop learning. Love it. Yes, exactly. That's the gold, you guys. That's the gold. I feel like whenever we stop learning, or whenever we feel like we've got it, Ew, I am so scared of ever hearing that sentence from anybody I'm close to, because you've you've now stepped into the realm of lethargy, right? Is lethargy the way you say that? I know how to spell it. I'm just not sure how you say it. But okay, yes. All right. So your 30-day thing. So study for pre-license, yes. Write your ebook, yes. Writing an ebook is actually so much easier than you could ever imagine. Really, all it takes is sitting down and doing it, and chipping away at it. So what I do is wake up in the morning and then think of the two important things for that day that are going to push the needle on my business. So my givens are that I'm going to go work out, which is good for my business because it's good for my body, it's good for my soul, it's good for everything, right? It's like the best thing I could do for myself ever. And then after that, I do my coursework where I'm studying and I'm learning. So those both are given. So those I cannot cheat and say, well, I am going to work out and do my online course today. Those are going to be the two things I'm going to do today. No, Martha, because those are givens. So besides that, what two things are you going to do in order to push the needle forward in your business today, or in your life, or toward your goal, really? So what are the two things? So every day it's different for me. No day is the same. So every day is different for me. So I'll have, I'm building this funnel, and I'm recording this video or something like that, or I'm creating this website, and then I'm writing copy for this sales page, or I pick two huge things and then I knock them out. So the things, whenever you're writing an ebook, the difficult part, this is crazy. The most difficult part about writing an ebook is the amount of time that you spend thinking about the book that you should write. Because the amount of time that you spend thinking about it, the book gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and it keeps becoming that thing that you didn't do, and it becomes like this, what is it, a mountain out of a molehill, right? It's really not a big deal, but then it becomes this big deal because you put it off for so long. And really all that you need to do is every day commit an hour, set your timer, commit an hour to writing, to just allowing yourself to write. And then the next day, commit an hour to writing. Like, you have to have the self-discipline to say, I do nothing else but write for this next hour. That's what you do. And it'll be fun. And then you're going to be done with it in like a week. I'm not even kidding. Because once you get into the flow, then you're in the flow, right? And it just keeps going. And maybe you'll write for longer than an hour. But it was the fact that you committed to an hour that allowed that flow to happen, if that makes sense. Hi, Amy. Who else has questions? Because it is 7:21. I have about 9 minutes left. For those of you that just came in, we're talking about obviously setting goals, and we're talking about SMART goals, and making sure that our goals that we're creating are actually attainable, and then setting a time to get those complete. So the time that we're getting those complete, that we're talking about right now, would be 30-day goals, which would be a short goal on our way to our stretch goal for a year. Okay. Tish, I write and channel every day now. Heck yeah. Hi, Beth. Hello. Yeah, if anybody has any goals, any questions about goals, please ask, because I would love to be able to help you guys out. Also, this is just some housekeeping. We have lots of stuff in the works right now. Oh, Paz, I'm going to say this. I have a Facebook business page. How okay is it to groups? Or is it best to share from your timeline? Oh, to share in groups. Okay. So, excuse me. Facebook business page. How okay is it to share to groups, or is it best to share from your timeline? Groups are an interesting thing, right? I am a fan. There are people that would say both. They would say to do both. I am a big fan of sharing from your personal page. Now, you have to be very careful about doing a whole lot of business stuff from your personal page. However, I said from your personal page, right? Whenever you're sharing something that's just really important to you, something that, is like a conviction of yours or is a passion of yours, just that you would be doing anyway, and it happens to also be a business, you can share things like that from your personal page. And I think that it holds more weight when it comes from your personal page. Also, I mean, it's shown. It's shown to people then, because when it comes from your business page, the algorithm on the business page, not hot. So you really have to set up Facebook ads and things like that and get a good audience for your Facebook business page in order for people to even see that you're putting anything on there. Okay. So the business page or the personal page is what I would do. Real quick, I'm going to say this. I was starting to say it right before she asked, but we have the free month campaign for Inner Circle is ending on Friday. Okay, so if you wanted the free month, make sure that you get in before Friday. Next week, if you had not gotten in before next week, you are going to so wish that you had, because next week we introduce a new tiered Inner Circle, and anybody that is already in the Inner Circle, like the people that are in there right now, automatically get bumped up to the next tier. Automatically, just for being there. So you could even be in there with your free month and you would automatically get bumped up to the next tier. And like I said, there's going to be 3 tiers. I'll talk about it more next week. But yeah, if you want to get in on that, I would definitely get in on it. Like if I were you, if I were you watching me right now, I would be getting in on the free month right now, just out of curiosity, probably, because I would be like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next week. So definitely do that. Let me put in the link just real quick, because I did just say it. go.g.com/ free month. There you go. You have the link. If you're curious, click it. So there's that. Okay, Tish, how do I reach more people on lives? Okay. You do lives from your business page, don't you? Do you do lives from your personal page at all? I'll wait for you to answer that. I'll read Beth's while I'm waiting for that. Beth is working on the foundation. Is education about your own business before you start putting procedures or actions into place. Okay, so I'm going to try to understand that sentence. Is working on the foundation, education about your own business before you start putting procedures or actions. So what I think you're saying there is, should you be studying about your own business before you move forward? I feel like that's the question. And absolutely. So I think that is part of the ecosystem that I was talking about, because that's really what I do. Is I kind of go up 30,000 feet and look down at the business and say, okay, so this is what you can do. This is the lay of the land for your business, and you can go here and you can go here and you can go here and you can go here. And what you do, so it's I think Gary Vaynerchuk calls it clouds and dirt. So you're up in the clouds, and then it's like you take a nosedive right into the dirt, and then you get going and you make it happen, right? So that is the very first thing. So before you start educating yourself about how you're going to market it or writing a sales page or anything like that, be crystal stinking clear about what your offerings are going to be, okay? So if you have not yet watched, and this is like the fourth time I've said it, so please watch it. If you haven't watched the ecosystem video, make sure that you watch that, because that is going to make all of the sense in the world about what I'm talking about right now. But yeah, make sure that you're clear on offerings, services, things like that, and then start building up from there on how you're going to market it, how you're going to do all of the things. Yeah, definitely, Beth. Joe, hey Joe, be vulnerable, share from your personal account. Yes. I love sharing from personal accounts. I love that, because it's not only are you not hiding, Joe is exactly right. Not only are you not hiding behind the shroud, right? Or the veil of ambiguity somewhat, right? Because you're on this business page and it represents a thing that maybe you don't every day represent in your life every day. Definitely make sure that whenever you're talking about your business or what you do or anything that drives you, right? Be as transparent and vulnerable as you possibly can in your personal account, because all that's going to do is send out the bat signal to the people that resonate, right? To the people that have that same exact feeling, have those same fears, have those same happy thoughts, right? That do those same things. Like there was a post I did today, and it was a goofy post, but it was as soon as I was getting serious about typing, and my bracelets were getting in the way, and I'm like, oh, they're coming off, they're going down on the desk. And then whenever I did that, I was like, I wonder how many other people do that, right? So then I took a picture of them and I said, it's getting serious when the bracelets come off. And then there were a bunch of Me Too things for that, because it is serious. They do get in the way, right? But it's that sort of stuff where you can connect with people, like transparency. And sometimes it feels a bit goofy, and it feels a bit, I don't know, it just feels a bit goofy, like you're, documenting your entire life. Like at the very beginning, maybe there's a little bit of that imposter mentality that happens, where it's like, who cares that who cares about that? But kind of push through that and keep doing it anyway, because people do care, and you can connect with people, and you're a goofball. It's all right. Just do it. Hey, Alyssa. Beth, sorry, LOL, omit the second is. Okay. Working on the foundation education about your business. Okay, cool. So I addressed that. Tish, you just answered that. LOL, my bad. Oh, good. Vicky, I have not done a Facebook Live yet. Oh, man. Vicky, we have to work on that. Not of 10, no. Not of 10. I can't remember what that's about. Vicky, please link it. Link what? I think you were talking about linking the thing that I already linked. I'm pretty sure. Joe, Vicky, it's time to start. Get live and be open to your audience. Yeah, Joe does some really good lives too. He does them in his car. Those are the ones that I've seen on LinkedIn, Joe, or the car lives. Tish, I will try them on my personal page. Thanks. Yes, absolutely. Please do that, Tish, because that's going to get so much more mileage than on your business page. Whenever it's just a thing. Whenever people see a business page and it's live, now there are some reasons to do it from your business page if you're using it as a Facebook ad strategy. So that's something that, of course, we talk about over in the inner circle. But you can do it from your personal page, do the lives from your personal page, and get so much more mileage, because lives from a business page, sometimes people just don't even listen to them, depending on their own perceptions, I guess. But lives from business pages feel a certain kind of way, you would have to have a really snappy headline or a really catchy headline where they're like, I have got to know this thing. So I guess that would be a hint or a trick, is to make a headline just irresistible, like that you are answering something and you'll be ending that loop or closing that loop in the live. So maybe pose a question or say, I am going to be talking about one of the most amazing yada yada yada, right? And then say, you're going to find out about it in this video right here. And then, close the loop or give the solution, give the answer to that question on the actual live. Make sure you do that. Make sure that you do honor that, what you said. So, okay, man, we're so chatty tonight. I love it. Joe, Martha is so right. Oh, I could listen to that every day. Think about what inspires you. It's about stories and being real. Absolutely. Beth, I haven't either. Oh, you haven't done a live either, Beth? Oh, man. We need to work on, maybe we will do, tell me what you think about this, guys. Maybe we will do a challenge, like a showing up challenge in here, like a showing up challenge, where we do Facebook Lives and I don't know, my idea needs to flow from there, but maybe we will do a challenge in the next couple of weeks. Right now, I am up to my kneecaps. It's stuff I need to do. But I would say in a couple of weeks, I could probably do that with you guys if you want. Let me know though, okay? Jenny, yes, I do that. Personal connection, yes. And who cares what people think anymore, to have too many opinions to care about. Exactly, Jenny. That's the thing. And the people that like think that you're a goofball, that's okay, right? That's okay. They're not your customers. They're not your clients. They're not, who you're trying to reach out to anyway. So that's totally okay. And they can feel the way that they feel. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of this world that we live in. We all have our flavors. We like hearing from this person and we don't like hearing from that person, and it's all good. It is all love. Vicky, ecosystem. Oh yes, ecosystem. Joe. Oh, link to the ecosystem video. Thank you, Vicky. Let me go to the YouTubes. Hang on just a second. You're going to see me just staring at my screen here for a second. Tribefinder. There I am. Okay. There's that video. Share. Copy. All right. Boom pow. Here is the link to the ecosystems video. Okay. Mike always makes these funny thumbnails for me, and I always look like a goofball as I'm talking. Okay. Beth, what if your personal page is private? I would open up your personal page. I would not have a private personal page. It is so difficult to build a business, especially when it's you and you are technically the brand. So difficult with a private page. Trust me, I've been there. I've tried it. People want to be able to look you up and see what you're all about. So you have to do it. You have to do it. I totally suggest it. I'm not going to say, you can't be successful without it. I wasn't able to find any success without opening up my page. Carlin, I'm doing my first Facebook Live in October. Yay! I love how you have it on the calendar. We're decluttering one of my clients' closets live. Oh, that's amazing. So Carlin does a number of things, but one of the things that she does is she's a decluttering or a clutter coach, really. And so they're going to do a live about decluttering one of her clients' closets. That's awesome. Very, very cool, Carlin. And then you'd be able to repurpose that video quite possibly onto either a sales page or onto your website. Just to show people what you do. So you don't really just even use it the once, right? You'll be able to reuse it. Tish, I am a goofball. You are a goofball, and I love it. Jenny, the removing of the bracelets, I do. We'll start doing lives. Awesome! Tish, often stupid tablet. Oh, for the words, got it. Vicky, I am behind. Oh, don't worry. Transparency. Hey, Katie. With Facebook page, we mean the business one or your profile. When we're referring to, when we're talking about the privacy settings, that would definitely be your personal one. Joe, Facebook private. It's possible to have some private posts, just can be a big pain to do it. Exactly. Yeah. You can have, what I would suggest, if there are people that you want to have, you know, like maybe you just have a family side of things that they don't need to see all of your business stuff, and you really just talk about family stuff and you share photos and that sort of thing. What I would do in that instance is I would actually create a secret group for my family. Okay. And then all of you can just chat in there and share what you want to share in there and really just share with each other. And it's kind of nice because you have this space that's only yours, right? And you don't need to worry about, oh my gosh, who was able to see that post and yada, yada. It's all in this secret group, right? So that's what I would suggest in that instance. If you feel like there are some things, like maybe pictures of your kids and stuff like that you want, like maybe your mom across the country to be able to see, but you don't want for everybody to be able to see it, well, then just start a secret group, not even a closed group because that's searchable, but a secret group where you share the URL and that's how people get into it. Katie, hi guys. Hey, Katie. Katie is making something for my baby. There's going to be a reveal whenever it's done, and I could not be any more excited. And I'm not saying anything to my daughter, which is also completely crazy for me because I just like what, I can't keep a secret. I cannot keep a secret. So I've had to buy her these other things like slime and stuff just to keep giving her toys. So like I don't accidentally just vomit her new thing all over her. It's a whole thing. That's my struggle right now. That's what I'm having a hard time with right now. Oh man. I am in for lives. Awesome. Beth, is Katie making the unicorn? Okay, so yes, she is. My daughter's upstairs. Yes, she is though. Katie, it's freaking cute. I can't wait. I'm like beyond, like, look at me. I'm beyond excited about this. Like, so stinking excited about this. So, anywho. Do you guys have any other questions for this evening? It is 7:41. I kind of like this on the Wednesday night. Beth is laughing. I am beyond goofy, you guys. Like a total ridiculous goofball. Well, cool. I'm glad that the questions seem to get answered. Make sure that even if you feel like, because here's the thing is sometimes in the act of even trying to set goals, you get a bit overwhelmed with all the things you need to set goals for, right? I can imagine people come into the inner circle and are like, oh, like all of the things, right? It's like for me, for a business owner, you walk in, it's like you open the doors and it's just like a kid in a candy store, right? Where you're like, oh, I don't even know where to start, right? So setting goals and having all the things that you want to do, get very grounded, right? And think, okay, what has to happen next? And the filter that the what has to happen next should come through is the what makes me money right now filter. That should be the very first thing, okay? Like the what makes me money right now. That's why services are the first thing, because you can start selling services before you even have sales pages up, right? So make sure that you have that sort of grounding whenever you're going into the goals, because I don't want you to like start thinking about all the goals that you need and then just shutting down. If you feel like you're getting to a shutting down point because of all your goals, please reach out. Please say something here in the group. Let somebody talk you through it. I will try my best to talk you through it also. This is something that we need to make sure that we can all stay on task to live the life of our dreams, right? That's what we're here to do. So we're all here to help. Okay, so please, if you run into a block or something, post it in here, because that's what this group is for, okay? Beth, will be other lives with the next steps? Oh yeah, I can do more lives with the next steps. I can do that next week, actually. I can do that. Beth, me. Vicky, I will do live on Friday. Awesome. Well, then I'll do that challenge too, okay? So I'll keep you guys updated on what I'm doing, but I'll be doing the challenge as well. So the showing up challenge or the coming out challenge. Maybe it'll be the coming out challenge. I kind of like that. Or the, I don't know. I'm going to sit with it. So, okay, guys. Well, you all have a fantastic night, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.